keep on blessing me. 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 Thank you, cause you keep on blessing me. 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 Thank you, cause you keep on blessing me. And when I step in a place and I look like a star, say them but say I they do shaka fry. Enemies them I see me, they want to do me jaga jaga. Oh, I'm not moving, I'm just in my agbada. Do you like what you see? No need to they jealous me. Stop back, God blessing me. I go lift up my voice and sing. Yeah. When people see me, they ask me, say, what did they make me shine every day? Now Baba upgrade me, I elevate, I elevate, I elevate. Enemies surround me, them done dead. Them nothing touch me, covered by grace. Now Baba upgrade me, I celebrate. I thank you, cause you keep on blessing me. 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 Thank you, cause you keep on blessing me. 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 Thank you, cause you keep on blessing me. We don't want no drama, we don't want wahala. But if you try to jam me, you will jump palava. And if you try to harm me, you will never prosper. Oh no, I say you will never prosper. They don't know the way and they don't know the how. Mama, you should know this by now. If you feeling me, then you can sing it loud. Sing it loud. Will you lift up your voice and when people see me, they ask me, say, what did they make me shine every day? Now Baba upgrade me, I elevate, I elevate, I elevate. Enemies surround me, them done dead. Them nothing touch me, covered by grace. Now Baba upgrade me, I celebrate. I thank you, cause you keep on blessing me. 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 Thank you, cause you keep on blessing me. 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 Thank you, cause you keep on blessing me. Do you like what you see? No need to they jealous me. Stop back, God blessing me. I go lift up my voice and sing. Yeah. And do you like what you see? No need to they jealous me. Stop back, God blessing me. Thank you, cause you keep on blessing me. 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 Thank you, cause you keep on blessing me. 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 Thank you, cause you keep on blessing me.
Online 24/7. Tag Community Voice Radio. The radio station for Thurrock's BAME community. Subscribe, listen live, and download our app from the Apple and Google App Stores.
Hello everyone, welcome to today's edition of Family Values, coming all the way to you from Tag Radio Station in Essex. Thank you for tuning in. Let's get started. Last week, we were talking about the role of extended families in marriages, and we were able to talk about, specifically about African culture, the role of extended families in marriage as per African culture. We were able to look at some challenges and how to overcome them in African culture. All those we looked at when we last met. Today, by the grace of God, we'll be talking about resilience and coping strategies We've looked at, marriages, extended marriage involvement, and the rest, how to prepare your children for marriage and the rest. And I think it is very important that we talk about resilience and coping strategies. Resilience and coping strategies. And the truth is, challenges are inevitable. They are inevitable. They are part of life, challenges. They will definitely be encountered in life. So as we grow and gain better knowledge and be able to self-manage ourselves and become more confident, then we'll become more resilient. What is the meaning of resilience? Which is what we'll be talking about today, resilience and coping strategies. By way of definition, resilience is the capacity or the ability to adapt. Capacity or ability to adapt to what? Challenging situations. You want to be able to cope. You want to be able to bear. You want to be able to maintain your sanity or your well-being in the face of challenge is what is known as resilience. You want to be able to respond appropriately without causing more harm or damage is what is known as resilience. The ability to adjust, to recover, to withstand stressful situation is what is also known as resilience. So I've been able to give about 3 or 4 definitions of resilience. So it is very, very important that we're able to bounce back in the face of challenge. When challenges come, they shake you, they destabilize you sometimes. The ability to be able to bounce back, the ability to be able to stand and stand tall is what is called resilience. So it is very important that we know what is resilience. Sometimes the situation or the challenge can be traumatic. Sometimes it can be what? In the face of adversity, in the face of stress, in the face of misfortune. Probably you lost a loved one. How do you cope? Or do you just withdraw and write everybody off and start to sob and cry as if it is the end of the world? No. The grace to be able to bounce back, to be able to go back to work, to be able to say, well, God give, God takes, and then you are back on your feet. You are doing what you ought to do at every given point in time is what is known as resilience. So it's very important for us as parents to know the importance of resilience so that we'll be able to teach our children to be able to exhibit this skill. It's actually a skill. Resilience is actually a skill. Just like you have communication skills and the rest, the same thing resilience is very important. So as I said, it is a skill and it can be acquired through your behaviors, through your actions, through your thoughts. Can build up that skill of resilience. So what is coping strategies? Coping strategies are those actions you put in place to help you deal or overcome stressful situations. Those actions you put in place to help you overcome stressful situations. Just like the name goes, coping. How are you able to cope? When you fail, how are you able to cope? When you lost a loved one, how are you able to cope? When you lost your job, how are you able to cope? These are coping strategies, So how are you able to cope is very important. If you have the proper coping strategies in place, they can help you reduce, tolerate, or minimize the consequences of the unwanted action or of the unwanted outcome. So coping strategies will help you to minimize, tolerate, or reduce the effects of what is happening or what has just happened. You just have lost a loved one. How will you be able to cope? Or are you just going to give up and start to blame and start to curse or start to, misbehave just because you have just lost a loved one? You should be able to cope. You should be able to face the what caused that ugly situation that you are trying to battle with, so that it will not also happen again. There are different things. I believe you understand what I'm trying to say, because sometimes there are some situations that can befall us and it may be due to our own human error. Instead of us to put it in place, we overlook it, we are crying and we are unhappy about it and the rest, and the thing will happen again. So for it not to happen again, what you put in place to check it not to happen again is what is known as coping strategies, because you don't want it to happen again. So you want to put things in place so that next time you will not be a victim of that particular incident. So what you put in place to help you manage your emotions, to help you manage those challenges, is what is known as coping strategies. So as I said before, challenges are inevitable. So being able to look at what coping strategies are, we have been able to talk about resilience, what resilience are. That is the ability or capability to be able to adjust or to maintain, to respond appropriately, or to recover from a situation that is not wanted. So it's very important that we know what resilience is. There are different coping strategies. So we'll be looking at some. One is to properly set boundaries in place. Put boundaries in place. If whatever is confronting you is, say an ugly situation and everything, you want to bounce back from it, you want to be able to respond appropriately. As we said, we want to be able to adapt or, make necessary changes. As human beings, we must be flexible, very important. Resilience also involves flexibility, adaptability. Must be able to be flexible. So you must be able to set boundaries. Okay, peradventure it was because this was not in place. Maybe you lost your job. That can be a stressful or a challenging situation. You lost your job. Peradventure, they were giving trainings and you didn't go. You didn't know the consequence, and now it has led to you becoming jobless. So some of the boundary or some of the things you put in place is for you to go and get proper training, for you to go and get the certificate or the course, as the case may be, or you want something better, then you need to put those things in place. Your finance may be small because you need to pay your rent, to pay your children's school fees, or whatever as the case may be. You may not be able to finance yourself. Then you must look at other means of financing yourself to add more value to yourself. Maybe you now want to explore student finance and the rest. So these are putting things in place rightly so that you can be able to cope with that challenging situation. You may be able to want to face what is challenging you headlong, face to face. You want to take active steps to come against it. It's a form of putting strategies in place. So these are different coping strategies you can put in place. It can be emotions. Okay, you are just crying. Is that the way out of what you are passing through? I've never seen any problem being solved by weeping and crying and being sorrowful. No. What do I do? So you have to put strategies in place to be able to help you to overcome such emotions. Maybe you want to go for talk therapy. Maybe you want to engage yourself in some other things that will take your mind away from that particular situation that is making you to be feeling sad or comfortable or whatever. So emotions, you want to put some strategies in place that will help you to combat the emotion you are passing through at that particular time. Sometimes it may be social support. You just need social support, and that social support can be from your family, immediate family, extended family, friends, colleagues, as the case may be. There are also forms of different coping strategies that we can engage. Social support, you allow friends to come. Peradventure, some of them have passed through what you are passing through now. They will tell you what they did, how they overcome that particular situation, and it will really help. So social support is one of the ways, or we can engage to cope with whatever is confronting us at that particular time. We can also decide to prioritize. Peradventure, we didn't know how to prioritize. Everything goes. No, it doesn't go like that. So we must be able to prioritize. Is this important? Yes, let me get engaged with it. Is this important? No, then we'll leave it for later. So things like that. Maybe because you were not setting priorities, that was why, you became a victim. Now you need to set priorities so that you'll be able to combat that challenge that is confronting you. Then you want to also look at contentment. Sometimes contentment can be something that is making people to be having challenges or to be running up and down, to be chasing what they ought not to chase at that particular time, contentment. You must live a life of your own. Do not make comparisons. Do not feel you are in competition. We are not in competition with anybody. We shouldn't be making comparisons with other people. I know it's good to look at what other people are doing and the rest, but have a free mind. We are not all destined the same way. Some people may be destined for the very, very, very high top, while some are not privileged to be destined. It doesn't mean that they will not fulfill purpose. So you know where you are going, not know what you are doing. You see some people, they have a lot of children, is good. I see some people, they have 1 or 2. It's good either way. But what do you want? Set priorities. Don't say because my friend had 6 children, I must also have 6 children, even when you don't have the means of taking care of those children. No. So you must live a life of contentment. Or my colleague is in that establishment is getting 6 figures, I'm not getting 6 figures. That is not what makes you to fulfill purpose. No. I've seen people that are not getting so much money, and yet they lived a fulfilled life, they touched life, they made the impact, they were successful, they trained their children and everything. While I've also seen some people that were getting the 6 figures and the rest, they were just addicts, they were spending their money on drugs and others. They did not really fulfill purpose and destiny. So that should not be our priority. We should not compare ourselves with others. We must live a life of contentment. As I've always said on this platform, by God's grace, I'm a Christian, and my Bible tells me, say, godliness with contentment is great gain. So you need to be contented. Whatever you have, thank God for it. There are some people wanting to even get that which you have. So be appreciative. Give gratitude to God. Appreciate God. Be contented. Very important. Some people may want to engage in meditation, as a way of coping strategy, which is good. They want to meditate, Even our God told us to meditate on the word. He said, Joshua, do not allow this book of the law to depart from your mouth. Meditate on it day and night. So we need to meditate. We need to meditate, think, ponder, and then proffer solutions. What is the way out? What do I do? Now I've realized, now I've thought about it deeply. Now I know where I've made my faults. Now I know what I did I ought not to do. What do I do to overcome it? Then start putting plans, start putting things in place, and to help you to overcome that particular challenge. Sometimes you want to go on exercise. It's a way of, relaxing. It's a way of letting out things. Exercise, very important. It's a way of emptying yourself. Exercise can also help you in different ways. Can help you with your self-care. Instead of you neglecting yourself because you are passing through a particular challenge, exercise can help you have your self-care, then and you become fit. In terms of fitness, you can become very fit. Exercises involve dancing. Just dancing in the confine of your home, is very important. Will help you to relax and ease off. Or go for swimming. You can go for swimming, you can go for walking, running, cycling. The list is unending. Aerobics, you can do aerobics, very important. So any of this can help you to relax, to ease off tension, to be able to overcome that particular thing that is what confronting you. You can help manage your health through these coping strategies I've just talked about. It will help you to manage your health, because if you don't put coping strategies in place, you may just be overwhelmed with the challenge that is befalling you. And then instead of bouncing back, you just find yourself, getting worse and worse, and then your health can start to deteriorate. And when your health starts to deteriorate, it's very, it's something not very good, not very pleasant. Sometimes it can lead you, you are anxious. So instead of you coming out of that state of anxiety into, launching out in a better and a stronger way, you just go down from anxiety. You can become so stressful, you can become depressed, you can become mentally ill, and that will give you mental imbalance, and that can become more complicated to treat, and that may take you away from work or from home or whatever for days, for weeks, for months, as the case may be. So we must never get to that stage. We must always engage coping strategies, resilience and coping strategies, to be able to bounce back, to be able to cope, to be able to adapt, to be able to overcome that challenge that is yours befalling you. It's very, very important that we do that. Now, I want us to talk about teaching children to know how to cope with challenges. How do I teach my children? These my children, what is their age? Sometimes it can be age related, but overall, how do I teach my children how to cope with challenges and with challenges? So this involves different methods. My method may not be your method, but from what I will say today, you'll be able to get some insight on what to do and how to do it. Why did I say my method may not be your method? It also depends on our culture, our background, our beliefs, our religion. But be that as it may, there are some basic things across the board that applies to everyone. So if we engage it, it will really help us. So how do you want to teach your children to cope with challenges, to be resilient? How? Like I said before, challenges are sure. Very important. Whether we like it or not, challenges are sure. So I want us to stop here. When we come back from the break, I want us to go on a quick break. When we come back from the break, then we'll be able to look at how to teach our children how to cope with challenges. We'll be able to look at healthy ways to cope with stress, and then how to build strong family support. Okay, so I'll be right back.
What if I tell you? What if I tell you, say, me where you see, I don't so see, we're just a germinate. So be hopeful, cause waiting and not be say. The baba where we they serve, no they use us play. Ego enter, that thing where you define. Ego enter, it might take a little time, but ego enter. When the stars align, ego enter, and everything will be just fine. Cause when Oluwa say yeah, 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 nobody can say no. Baba, hello. Cause when Oluwa say yeah, 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 nobody can say no. Baba, hello. Cause you get the final say. No matter what them say, no matter what them do, yes, you get the final say. No matter what them say, no matter what them do, delay is not denial. Keep waiting patiently. You can triumph through your trials if you just believe. So don't give up the fight, cause Papa God know they sleep. One day you will surely celebrate. Yes, He will supply your need. Have a little faith and see that He go enter. That thing where you define, He go enter. It might take a little time, He go enter. When the stars align, He go enter. And everything will be just fine. Cause when Oluwa say yeah, 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 nobody can say no. Baba, hello. Cause when Oluwa say yeah, 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 nobody can say no. Baba, hello. Cause you get the final say. No matter what them say, no matter what them do, yes, you get the final say. No matter what them say, no matter what them do.
Oh, you get the final say, you get the final say. Oh, no matter what them say, no matter what them say. Oh, you get the final say, you get the final say. Oh, no matter what them say, no matter
Cause you
what
get
them
the
say.
final say. No matter what them say, no matter what them do, yes, you get the final say. No matter what them say, no matter what them do.
Online 24/7. Tag Community Voice Radio. The radio station for Thurex BAME community. Subscribe, listen live, and download our app from the Apple and Google App Stores.
Welcome back from that short break. I believe we had some time to just grab a cup of tea or to relax. Welcome back to Tag Radio Station all the way from XX. As we were discussing before the break, we were talking about resilience and coping strategies. We were able to look at resilience, what resilience means, and coping strategies. We were able to look at, different ways to cope with challenges or adversity, as the case may be. We looked at it, and just before we went on the break, I said we'll be talking about teaching children to know how to cope with challenges, what it involves to teach your children how to cope. If you don't teach your children how to cope, they can be mesmerized, they can be abused, they can be taken advantage of out there. So we need to teach them how to be resilient, how to have coping strategies in place, how to cope in the face of challenges, because challenges will definitely come, and they come in different ways. Let's remember, I'm still your hostess. My name is Charlotte Adeniregun. So, as I said, challenges are inevitable. They will always come, and they come in different ways. If you have just gotten married, the first challenge that will be coming, maybe between you and your husband, you have just started living together, you were not living together before your marriage, going to be challenge. You may arrange the house the way he does not like it. That is a bit, is a form of challenge. It may be the type that throws his socks all over the place. You may not be the type that likes such things, and then that will also be a challenge, challenging you. What do I do? How do I cope with this present situation, with this new lifestyle? So there are a lot of challenges. Maybe you've not been sleeping on the same bed with somebody. You'll be sleeping all on your own, on your bed, all looking nice and creepy all the time. Now you are living in the same house with somebody else and on the same bed, and maybe if he gets up, he doesn't believe he should be making the bed, because very soon we'll come and sleep again. But you believe every time you stand up from the bed must be laid. That's another form of challenge. So there are always challenges. By the time the children start coming, there's another level of challenge. By the time the children are grown, there's another level of challenge. By the time you are getting old, there's another level of challenge. So challenges are inevitable. You go to school, you fail your exam. It doesn't make you a failure. It's just a test at that particular time. So how do you overcome it? So how do you also teach your children to overcome? So let's look at it. And as I said, it's just a guide based on our religion, our background, our upbringing, our values, our culture. There are so many things that can sometimes modify what we think or what we plan to do. So this is just like a guide. So the first one I said is create an environment that is conducive, creating a conducive environment that is safe, that is supportive. Very important. You see some children in the home, they are like cat and dog. The moment they hear their father entering the house, they all take off. Everybody go and sleep. Everybody close their eyes, even if they are not sleeping. Why? Because daddy is just like a tyrant in the hall. It's just, is all over the place. It's just shouting and yelling and it's not communicating. So everybody just want to take off. It ought not to be so. The environment has to be safe, and the environment has to be supportive, so that your children can open up and you can advise them appropriately. It's very important. So you make sure that the environment is conducive and the environment is safe and is supportive. Very important. These are ways that your children will be able to cope with challenges. The second one I have here is be a good listener. As a father, as a mother, or as grandparents, very important. Be good listeners. There are some children, they may not be able to talk to their, immediate parents, father and mother, maybe because of one thing or the other, or they are not available, they are too engaged, they are all over the place working. Daddy is not local, it's only mommy that is working, mom is working round the clock. There are different things that can cause challenges in the home, as I said before. I may just be the grandparents that are available. So grandparents, be good listeners. Listen to what they have to say. Parents, listen to what they have to say. Let your children have a voice, and let your children be able to make reasonable choices. Very important. When they have a voice, they know that, oh, mommy will listen, daddy will listen, grandma will listen, grandpa will listen. They will open up, they'll confide in you. Instead of them going outside to go and confide in friends or their peers. I'm not saying they cannot confide in their friends or in their peers, but there are some things that, like I said the other time, a parent will always want the best for their children. Parents want their children to even be better than them. But I tell you out there, nobody wants you to be better than them. No parent will want you to be better than their own children. That is the truth. So your parents will always advise you appropriately. But parents must create that conducive, supportive, caring environment, safe environment, so that your children can open up and talk with you. Very important. So let them be able to make choices. Let them be able to have a voice. When they are talking, listen, so that you can advise them appropriately. Very important. So as parents, you must be good listeners. As children, be good listeners too. There's no need talking, yabbing, and at the end, nothing concrete comes out of it. No message at all. So we must be able to be good listeners so that we can respond appropriately. The other one says, help them build confidence. Very important. Help them build confidence, and values. Help them build confidence and values. Let your children know what it means to be confident. If not, they'll be intimidated, they'll be taken advantage of, and they will always be weeping and crying. They want to please everybody, and they cannot please everybody. Let your children know that saying no sometimes is part of building your confidence. Very important. You cannot just be a yes person. There are times it is not convenient, you cannot do it, then speak up. Sorry, I won't be able to do this. Sorry, it is not convenient. So, let people know. Don't just be a yes sir person and you are not delivering. It's not very good. So teach them to build confidence. Very important. And values. Let them know the values, your values. As a family, what are your values? What do you value? Do you value integrity? Do you value respect? Do you value transparency? Do you value effective communication? Do you value, education? Do you value religion? What do you value? What do you value? Let them know your value, so that when somebody else out there is talking to them on things that you do not believe in, they'll be able to say, oh no, on this occasion, count me out. I'm sorry. Very important. The other one I have here is that teach them the 3 magic words. Very important. Teach your children the 3 magic words. Teach them. There are some children, they don't know what it is to say I'm sorry, even when they are offended. That's not good. I won't blame those children. I'll blame their parents. Peradventure, their parents has not taught them. So it's very important we teach our children those 3 magic words, which are I'm sorry. Should be able to, because we are not perfect human beings. Today I can step on your toes. Tomorrow you may be the one to step on my toes. But the grace to say I'm sorry matters a lot. Knowing fully well that we are not perfect human beings. So it's very important to teach our children how to say sorry. It is also important to teach our children how to say thank you. When somebody shows you kindness, when somebody helps you, when somebody stretches out hands of fellowship to you, when somebody does anything good for you, you must be able to say thank you. Oh, thank you, I appreciate. Thank you very much. Very important. Thank you. Very important. You can say thank you to your younger ones and say thank you to your age mates. You can say thank you to your senior ones. It doesn't really matter. As long as somebody has showed you kindness, you must be able to reciprocate by saying thank you. You must also be able to know how to say please. Very important. Please, can you give me this? Please, can you show me this? Please, can you teach me this? Please. Very important. Please. Some people just talk to you as if it's their right. No. It may not be your right, but when you ask, when you put please, it may earn you what you wouldn't have gotten ordinarily. So it's very important to teach our children please. So these are some of the magic words I have come to UK to learn. It can be more from where you are from, but these ones are really very paramount. Another thing is live a prayerful life as a parent. Live a prayerful life. Teach your children your religion. Let them know, let them understand, let them know the pros and the cons, let them know what it entails. Prayers, there are some things you can't do or get ordinarily, but when you engage the power of prayer, It can speed up your earning. So please, when you pray, it is good we live a prayerful life, a life that teaches us to love your neighbor as yourself, a life that teaches us that we are all created for a unique purpose, a life that teaches us how to appreciate one another, how to help one another, support one another, love one another is very important. So live a prayerful life, and when your children see you living that prayerful life, they will emulate, they will copy such a life. Another thing is, what you teach your children is that teach them to take a break. Teach them to take a break. It's not good to just walk all the time without taking any break. No. Teach your children how to take a break, how to live a relaxed life. You know, there's this popular saying they used to say many years ago, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So what it's trying to say is that teach Jack to be playing sometimes. So by doing that, you know, he's working, play, work, play, work, play, work, play. Then he will be a smart boy, he will be a clever boy, you know. So teach your children how to take a break, how to reflect, how to receive feedback and ponder on the feedback and re-strategize and launch out. Then they'll become better and more successful. Some people, you give them feedback, they pick offense. No, somebody that loves you will always give you feedback. Oh, you did well in this area needs improvement, this area needs improvement, this area, you can do away with it. Then you go back, you sit down, you ponder on it, and you receive it very well. You take the ones that are appropriate, and then the ones that are not appropriate, you leave them. So feedback is really very important. That's why today there's hardly any training you go for that does not involve feedback at the end of the training, so that they can improve for improvement purposes. The same way as an individual, as a family or whatever, if you want to improve, you know, you want to be better, always ask or receive feedback. It will help you to improve. And reflect, at the end of every day, reflect, what have I done today? What did I achieve today? What did I do good? What did I do wrong? Was there anything I did that I ought not to have done? You know, reflect, think, how can it be better? How can it be improved upon? You know, things like that. When you reflect all the time, you'll find that you'll become a better version of yourself. So teach your children how to plan, very important. If you fail to plan, they say you will plan to fail. So don't fail to plan. Plan. After planning, before you do what? Before you can now what? Execute. After execution, what do you then do? You know, monitor, supervise, see what I'm doing, is it right? And then ask for feedback. When you ask for feedback, then you'll be able to go back and plan and re-strategize, and then start planning again, and the rest you can now what? Execute what you have planned. So the cycle continues like that. Very important. Let's just engage that. God will help us. And above all, be a role model to your children. I said it before. Be a role model to your children. You cannot be telling them it's not good to lie, and then you as a parent or as grandparents, you are going about lying. You are going about compromising. You are going about gossiping, backbiting, tail-bearing, backstabbing. No, because that's what your children will copy. So you be a role model. I want you to remain trustworthy, be honest, then you be honest. I want you to be transparent, you be transparent. Husband, wife, be transparent. I don't want you to tell lies, then you don't tell lies. You know, just be a role model. And as I said before, children copy a lot. Children can mimic, they can imitate. So what you do, they will be copying. What you do, they will be mimicking it, they will be imitating it. So please, you put on the good values so that your children will mimic and copy those good values. So be a role model. The next one is healthy ways to cope with stress. What are those healthy ways to cope with stress? I think some have mentioned some of them as we were going along. So healthy ways to cope with stress involve talk to people you trust. Very important. Don't go and talk to everybody, anywhere, any day, anyhow. No. Because these people may just, be backstabbing, you'll be gossiping with the information you have just given to them. That is why I said trustworthy people. Talk to trustworthy people that you trust. If you, in your place of work, you have any concerns, talk to your employers or the people overseeing you. You don't go about everybody talking about it. No. Talk to your employers or your managers. This is my concern. This is my fear. This is my this is what is stressing me. Talk to them and they'll be able to direct you, help you. You know, maybe you need to take time off work. They'll be able to recommend that, and then you can take that time off work so that you can reflect and replan and re-strategize. Or maybe they will take you out of that department into another department, as the case may be. But if you don't speak to the appropriate people, then you'll not be able to get the necessary help that you need. That's why I said talk to people you trust, people that are relevant on need to know basis. Talk to such people, you know, on need to know basis. You don't just talk to anyhow people, anybody. No. You know, about your feelings, about your concerns, very important. Take time out or breaks. Go on holidays. Have relaxation, very important. These are healthy ways to cope with what? Stress. Practice contentment and gratitude. As I said before, practice contentment and gratitude, because if you are just crying about everything, oh, I don't have this, why me, then you are going to just become anxious unnecessarily, get yourself stressed out, and then go into depression, withdrawal symptoms, suicidal tendency, and the rest. The list is inexhaustible. So live a life of what? Contentment. Practice it. I have these 2 pair of shoes. Praise God. If that is what God can give to me now, I am happy. At His own time, He will increase it. And truly, before you know it, it will increase. There's no need, you know, oh, I can't wear designers. Oh, somebody is wearing Louis Vuitton. Somebody is wearing Nike. I can only wear Primark. Thank God for it. There are some people that cannot even afford Primark. So let's be contented. Let's be contented. Let's trust God. Let's do what we need to do. And very soon, before you know it, the pendulum swings. Today it may rest at yours. Tomorrow it may be at mine. Nobody knows. And that is why we must practice what? Contentment and gratitude. Know how to say thank you, as I said before. Have that heart of gratitude. Appreciate people. Okay. Be thankful. Be thankful, very important. Another one, healthy ways to cope with stress is to do exercises regularly. As I said before, aerobics, cycling, dancing, swimming, all these are different ways of doing exercise, walking, running, according to your capacity. Another one is to eat healthily. Eat well and eat healthily. We need to eat well and we need to eat healthily and regularly. Some people may be passing through some emotional problem and the rest, they will decide not to eat. They will start starving themselves. If you starve yourself too much, there's a level to which you starve yourselves, then your intestines, your stomach will start to secrete acid. And when it starts to secrete acid, it can start to rub your stomach linings. It will start to, eat up your stomach linings, and then it will become ulcerated. It will have little wounds, and that's ulcer. To take care of that is another problem. So we must be careful. Eat well and eat regularly. Very important. Eat well and eat regularly. Another thing is to sleep well. Sleep well. Some people, because they are thinking, their mind is all over the place. They are thinking of how to get Lamborghini, Tesla, how to travel to all parts of the world and the rest. They are not able to sleep. It starts to affect them. They want to do the best work, but they don't have the appropriate qualification. And then they become restless. They become sleepless. They don't sleep well. Please, it's very important that we sleep well. These are healthy ways to cope with stress. Learn to sleep well. Very important. Sleep well. And then take relaxants. Sometimes if there is need for it, take relaxants. Like, for instance, like an African that I am, there are some relaxants you can take, like pepper soup. Some of these soups can really relax you. Can relax you by virtue of the spices they put in it, and then you'll be able to sleep well. There are some drinks, maybe like chocolate drinks, malt drinks, and the rest. There are different types if you go to the stores that can help you to really relax and sleep deep and sleep well. It will really help you. This will help you, to check some of these diseases or conditions that are unwanted that sometimes come due to sleeplessness. avoid excess caffeine, avoid excess alcohol. Excess caffeine, excess alcohol, avoid it. Taking a lot of caffeine in your drinks, in your coffee is not very good because it can also cause sleeplessness. So it's very important. And then some people will tell you to use aromatherapies. There are some aromatherapies that are very good. Aromatherapy, some of them you can spray it, some of them you can put it on your window tops, some of them you can put it on your, they come like electric adapters that you put to the wall, and from time to time it will, spray out itself. So these are different aromatherapies, and you have things like lavender, rose flower. They have different fragrances. They can help you relax. So you can also engage that. So these are some of the ways we can cope with stress. Okay, let's go to the next one, building strong family support. How can you build strong family support? Last time we were talking about extended family involvement in marriages and the rest. There were some I also talked about. I talked about communication is very important. Building strong family support. Effective communication is very important, very important. If you don't speak, people can't read your mind and they won't know what you need, what you don't need, what your likes are, what your dislikes are. So you need to be able to communicate. And when you are able to communicate, people will be able to make necessary adjustments. People will be able to give you space. People will be able to check themselves so that the relationship can be continuous, the relationship can be healthy, the relationship can be mutually beneficial. So it's very important that we engage effective communication. So building strong family support is very important. Also, it will help. Another thing is eating together, spending quality time together, very important. Building strong family support. So when you eat together, when you spend quality time together, you talk together, you pray together, as the case may be, go on holidays together and the rest, it will help build strong family support. Very important. And through this, you'll be able to, exhibit resilience and coping strategies, as we have earlier mentioned. Very important. Set boundaries. Let people know, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, this is where I want you to reach, this is what I don't want you to reach. When you come to my house, please, my bedroom, I just want it to be private, and so I want it. You let people know your boundaries. So when they come, they will not go beyond the boundaries so that the relationship can be maintained. So if you don't tell them, they won't know. So it's good you let them know, very good. And keep yourself active. Stay active. Don't live a sedentary life. Don't live a life that is an invalid life, like somebody that is not feeling fine, that is sick, convalescent, and the rest. No. Live a life that is active. Be active. You are just maybe, I don't know, you are 55, 60 or whatever. Live a active life. Even if you are not doing a regular secular job, find yourself doing something. They said an idle mind is the devil's workshop. So don't be idle. Because I'm saying don't be idle doesn't mean you should go and do everything. No. According to your capacity and your capability, be active. Do something. Don't just sit in the same place from morning till night. No. Can lead to blood clots. And that's another even worse problem. So be active. Even if you're on your computer, find time to relax, to walk up and down, to do exercises. It's important. Don't just sit down on your computer from morning till night. That is not very good. The side effect is horrible. It's not something we should want. So please try and stay active. Stay active. Staying active doesn't mean to be on your phone from morning till night gossiping. Doesn't mean to be on your TV watching home videos from morning till night. No. Active, productive, efficient. So it's important. Stay active. Celebrate one another. If it is your turn to celebrate today, I will celebrate with you, because tomorrow may be my turn to celebrate. Celebrate together. Live together. Enjoy together. Relax together. Spend quality time together. All this will help us build strong family support. Strong family support. Learn to communicate effectively. The Lord will help us as we do so. I just have 2 quotes here today. Just 2 quotes. And the first one says, You may encounter many defeats, which is true, many challenges, front and back. I just said some just now about your immediate family. I've not talked about those of the extended family. I've not talked about your financial challenges. I've not talked about your career challenges. I've not talked about your job challenges. I've not talked about your spiritual challenges. There are so many challenges in life. So he said you may encounter many of them, sometimes at the same time, sometimes within short interval. Emotional challenges, but the truth is you must not be defeated. You must surmount all those challenges. You must surmount all those problems confronting you left, right, and center, day in, day out. You must surmount them. You must be a victor. You must be the champion. You must never allow problems to consume you. No. Very important. So, do not allow them. You must not allow them to defeat you. You must never be defeated. Let's have that at the back of our mind. This problem that is challenging me, what do I do to overcome it? That should be our mind all the time. All the time. Seek help where you need to seek help. Talk to those you need to talk to. Do what you need to do. Put things in place that you need to put in place. Re-strategize, And then you see that problem will become a thing of the past. The Lord will help us. The second one says, life doesn't get easier. We just must get stronger and more resilient. Very true. Be thinking tomorrow, it's like many years when I was growing up, my mom used to tell us that, about 30 years ago, about 20 years ago, this thing they are selling for 5,000 now used to be like 5 pounds or 5 naira. And now it's selling for 5,000 naira. If I had known. So we would not say, Mom, why didn't you buy many and keep it? And then she would smile and said, the money wasn't also there then. To buy so many and keep. How many can I buy and keep, Now I realize, now I understand what she meant by such, words. It's true. So don't ever think that things are going to get better tomorrow. Things are going to get easier tomorrow. No. But what is most important is for you to make up your mind to get stronger to, to be able to overcome that challenge. Very important. You must be able to get stronger, and then you must be able to be more resilient. You must develop that capacity and that ability to overcome whatever is confronting you. And as you do so, you find out that you will become what? A winner, and a winner you will be. So thank you so much for listening today. Remember, we have our social media, very important, on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube. On Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. We have our social media on them. Just go type tag Radio 1 and it will take you to our platform on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Once you go there, just type tag Radio 1 and you'll be able to see us there and listen to our programs. There are different programs on that platform. So with that, I want to come to the end of today's show. We've been able to talk about resilience and coping strategies. As you put this into practice, you will never be a victim, but you'll be a testifier all the way. You'll be a victor all the way. I congratulate you ahead of time. It shall be stories of joy. Your report will be that of good report by the special grace of God. You and your family, so shall it be. Thank you so much for listening. Until I come your way again, stay blessed. All right, take care. Bye, everyone. I want to appreciate our counselor in the house, Counselor Boki Okunade. The Lord bless you really good. I want to appreciate the production crew, all of them. They are doing excellently well behind the scene. That is why you are getting me on this platform, all nice and crispy. Thank you so much, production crew. God bless you. All right, take care until I come your way again. Stay blessed. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Online 24/7. Tag Community Voice Radio. The radio station for Thurex BAME community. Subscribe, listen live, and download our app from the Apple and Google App Stores.